Hiya, and welcome back to Homecoming Morenatsu Revisited. The game that teaches us that kicking a ball makes it go far. I really cannot think of anything else to say. Anyways, let's just hop right in. Rustling around in my bed, I reach for my noisy phone. Of course you'd wake me up now. Turning off the alarm, I sit up groggily and slowly open my eyes. As I give a heavy yawn, I glance at my phone screen. What the? 5:23 a.m.? Could have sworn I set my alarm for 5:30. Must have been more tired than I thought. I thought I muted my phone. I did. Well, no sense in laying here. I better get ready. I have a big day today. As I walk out of my room, I glance up at the hall. Oh, good morning. Once more, Grandma is preparing breakfast in the kitchen. She turns and smiles, her tail swishing as she notices me. Good morning, dear. I hope you slept well. I return her smile and nod once. Yeah, I did, but I got woken up a few minutes early. Grandma grins at me before returning to her breakfast preparations. Begin to head to the kitchen, but stop in front of the living room. Grandpa's sitting in his chair reading the paper. Huh. I guess Kyouji finished his rounds a little earlier today. After a few moments, he notices me and gives one of his trademark grins. Welcome to the land of the living, boy. You're usually sleeping like a pup at this early hour. My fur bristles in embarrassment, and I curl my tail around myself. The most shameful part is that he's not exactly wrong. I would still be sleeping if I were back home. Yuki? I'm pulled out of my self-judging by my grandmother's call. My tail uncurling, I walk towards the kitchen. As I arrive, she glances over her shoulder at me. Breakfast won't be too much longer. Go wash up, dear. Oh, hiya, Amethyst. And, again, sorry. I smile at her, my tail returning to its usual swishy behavior. Okay, thanks, Grandma. With a renewed sense of vigor, I make my way to the bathroom. I give a contented sigh as the water streams down my body. While I shower, I can't help but think of the others. I wonder if everyone else is waking up now. Ooh, I can't eat another bite. Thoroughly satisfied with my delicious breakfast, I give a wide grin. Thank you for breakfast, Grandma. She smiles back at me before reaching for my plate. My grin fades to a look of surprise. I can clean up, Grandma. It's no big deal. Nonsense, Hiroyuki. I'll take care of the dishes. You have a big day ahead, so go, have fun. I pause, not wanting to be rude, but Grandpa gives a dismissive wave of his hand. Do what she says, boy, before she makes you clean the whole house. Grandma glares at him, but he merely grins back at her. After a few moments, she sighs, her expression softening. With a soft chuckle and a shake of her head, she glances back at me and smiles. Have fun, but stay safe. Give us a call if you need anything. Okay, then I'll be back later. I smile back at her and bow politely before leaving my grandparents in the kitchen. As I step out into the morning air, I can't help but grin. It's been a very long time since I've gone to the beach. I can't wait. My tail swishes excitedly as I break into a jog. Bring on the beach! We got Torihiko, Kyouji, Shun, Sotaro. Act 2. Here we go again. Aw, shit. Here we go again. I give a happy sigh as I make my way towards the bus stop. Compared to how hot it's been the last few days, the cool morning breeze is quite refreshing. As I approach the bus stop, I notice a figure standing there, arms crossed. Hey, isn't that... As I approach, Juichi suddenly notices my presence. You're here very early, Nishimura. There's still plenty of time, you know. I flash Juichi a wide grin and dismissively wave my hand. Didn't want to be late for this. Good morning. At least you guys won't have to wait for me to get here, right? You're early, too. Juichi simply gives a small nod. I have training most mornings. Getting up early isn't a bad habit to have. I give my friend a wide grin, my tail swishing to the side. You probably have a lot in common with my grandparents, then. Juichi snorts in response. Might be mistaken, but was that a laugh? If Juichi gets up early, I wonder if Kyouji and Tora need to as well for their clubs. Although waking up early would be out of character for Torihiko. By the way, notice the large duffel bag you've got there. Looks like you're bringing a lot of stuff. From where I'm standing, it almost looks as big as his body. It's stuffed full, clinging to his back. Oh, this? It's just stuff I thought I'd need for the beach. I give the bag another glance, raising my eyebrow. Don't you think you might have overdone it a bit? Isn't this how much you would usually bring? Whatever you say, Kyouji. From a parasol to a straw hat, it looks like he thought of everything. I guess he's the kind to always be prepared, huh? I suppose you're right. You wouldn't happen to have a spare pair of goggles in there, would you? I don't. Oh. I think there's a beach shop nearby when we get there if you need one. I'm able to stop myself from letting out a soft sigh. Thanks, I'll have to do that. Looks like you guys got here early. What's up? I glance over to the side as I hear Kuya's voice, waving to the husky a few moments later. Hey, Kuya! Good morning! You're here pretty early yourself, you know. A small smile makes its way to Kuya's face as he reaches forward and places a hand on my shoulder. Trust me, I would make it on time if I didn't try to get here early. I grin back at him and the two of us share a laugh. Hello, everyone! Ah! Let out a surprised yelp, my ears flicking back, my tail curls around me instinctively. Good morning to you too, Hiroyuki. I relax when I notice that my assailant is only Shin. With an embarrassed chuckle, I glance over at the cat. Morning, Shin. Shin glances back at me and nods before suddenly clutching himself and shivering. It's freezing this morning. A smirk appears on Kuya's face as he glances down at Shin. Look at it this way, we'll be in a nice warm bus in no time. Shin reaches a hand up to his face and massages between his eyes. I suppose. Come on, Shin, get excited! We're going to the beach! You still have some growing up to do, Hiroyuki. That's... Kidding, I'm kidding. I'm glad to see you're happy about this. I wonder, though, if certain people are going to be a pain today and get here late. Here comes a few more. Wow, wow, wow! Here I was thinking I'd get here first, look at all of you! Morning, Tatsuki. We're just excited about the trip. Good morning, Hiroyuki! I'm usually up this early anyway for work. It's good to see I'm not the only early riser in the group. Further up the road, I see Kyouji and Taro waving as they approach. Good morning! I can hear Tatsuki's voice all the way over here! Get your ass over here and give me a hug, Takahara. Long time no see. I'm afraid I'll have to pass, big guy. Within a moment, they join the rest of us at the bus stop. Wow, everyone is so early. Woof!
Good morning, everybody.
Dust clouds rise from the path Shun ran down to reach us. Morning, Shun. Shun, nice of you to drop by on this lovely day.
Sorry if I'm late. My parents almost didn't let me go.
It's good that you're here then now. Where's the other two? They're cutting it kind of close here. It's almost time to go. I wouldn't worry about Ushima. Kunosuke, on the other hand. Tora wouldn't be late for something like this. He's probably trying to find Kunosuke. Makes sense. Tora and Kunosuke live close enough to practically be neighbors. Hurry up! Can't you run any faster? I'm running as fast as I can. There's no need to rush, Tora. Huh, speak of the devil. Finally. I can't breathe! Take deep breaths, Kunosuke. You're hyperventilating. I'm gonna have to put you on an exercise regiment, aren't I? I'm fine the way I am, thank you very much. What on earth happened to the two of you? It's nothing. I went to go pick him up, but he was still eating breakfast. Hey, my dad just got back from his trip last night. I wanted to hear all about it before I left. And then... Sorry, there happened to be something cool on TV. Yeah. And then... I forgot my bag. So we had to run back and get it. And then... Okay, Tora, they get the picture! I don't get it, Kunosuke. I told you to be ready, Told you to be ready. I know. It's a good habit showing up to things earlier than the planned meeting time. That's no big deal. Everything still turned out okay, right? Easy for you to say. It's no use. No matter what we say, he's not gonna get any better. You guys worry too much. At least everyone's here before the bus. We've got a couple minutes. Double check everything to make sure you've got what you need. Roger that. Y'all take one last look at our luggage before the bus arrives. Bus is here. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
How far is the beach, guys? A couple hours north from here. I've never been that far north before. Yeah, there aren't a whole lot of reasons to go out this way. I hope you like it. I saw it in a magazine the other day. I'm the one who suggested the location.
Yeah, you showed us some pictures. What a wonderful discovery.
I can't wait. We're driving along the river most of the way. I'm pretty sure that's where it meets the ocean. Oh, it's that place. I've heard of it. The others continue talking. I lean against the window and close my eyes for a bit. We did wake up pretty early. Maybe just a little nap. I'm jolted awake by the sound of Kuya screaming. It got dark all of a sudden. Looks like we entered a tunnel. This tunnel sure is long. I hate tunnels. They always seem like they could collapse at any moment. I know, there's a subtle change in air pressure that feels strange too. And you guys call me the scaredy cat. It'll be over soon, look. Before Kuya can get annoyed at Tora's teasing, our attention is suddenly drawn to the light we're approaching. Whoa! It's so blue! I had no idea there was a place like this north of Minasato. The tunnel exits along the side of a mountain, so the view is spectacular.
It's the ocean.
Shun giggles as he presses his face up to the window. He's such a kid sometimes. Told ya, this is gonna be amazing, guys. It's just the sea. You're such children. I always feel so small when I see that endless blue. It's quite the view. It's beautiful. It reminds me of... Wow. Is that a boat? Looks so small from up here. Look over there. I think those people are windsurfing. Looks like fun. You want to try that out, Taro? What? Like just the two of us? Where did I say anything about just the two of us? We can make it if we try. Taro's so adorable. I wonder if Kyouji teases him like this at soccer practice. It's a pretty popular beach activity. Not interested.
Hey, looks like somebody is flying.
Wait, seriously? Oh, he's just coming down my parachute, isn't he? What? Where? Windsurfing and parachuting. Thinking with Shin on those, I'll pass too. Actually, that's called parasailing. See the speedboat down there? It's connected to the parachute. The boat pulls you and you get to take a walk in the sky. No? Never mind then. Hold on, that sounds like fun. You want to try it out with me, hero? Not to be rude, but I don't think either of you can afford it. Last I checked, it's pretty expensive. Oh. Huh. That's too bad. Shin! Can I? No! Aww. You look so disappointed still. That could have been a lot of fun. The others continue on as if they didn't hear Shin. Looks like a blast. Are you gonna try it, Sotaro? Sure. Don't force him to do anything he doesn't want to do, Tora. You and I can fly together. Why?
I'm glad you and Kyouji are close friends, Tora.
It's not like that at all. Just like at the welcoming party. Oh, I have to see this. We need to make sure Torihiko and Kyouji fly together. Don't look at me. You guys figure it out. What the? He's out cold. He even has a nose bubble. I thought that only happened in anime. Didn't he say he's used to waking up early? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? I'm surprised we didn't hear him till now. He's been snoring since before we entered the tunnel. Huh, must have been too focused on our conversation to care. Tatsuki mumbles something under his breath. Sachiko, is the food done yet? That's my favorite dish. Oh my god, he's sleep talking! I wonder what he's dreaming about. Next stop is the beach. Please press the red button if you are departing. I pressed the button excitedly before turning back to face my friends. Should we wake him up? An impish grin comes to my face. I got it. Tatsuki, we're here. He mumbles again. Yeah, is the food gonna get here soon, Hero Yuki? I've only eaten lunch today. Get a grip, Tatsuki, we're at the ocean. We're eating the ocean today? I don't know if I'll have room. He's starting to wake up. Did you bring something to eat, Tatsuki? Hey, why is everybody laughing? Who's Sachiko? That has nothing to do with you, Sachiko is. The bus screeches to a halt. Before Tatsuki can finish, Shin stands up and walks to the front. Here's my fare. Please give me the change. Yup, here you go. Thank you very much. Shin... Without looking back, he jumps off the bus and stands with his arms crossed facing the beach. Sounds like you and Sachiko are having a good time. Sachiko, is the food done yet? Shut up, don't disrespect Sachiko. Oh, he's getting angry. Run away!
You better go fast, or Tatsuki's face is turning red.
Yeah, red with embarrassment. Alright, that's enough. Everyone, off the bus! I'll cover the fare. Come back here, Tiger boy. I have so much fun doing Kyouji's voice. Like, I love Kunosuke, but I also love Kyouji's voice. Like, no one can ever actually... Kyouji is like... Not Kyouji, Kunosuke. I don't know how to describe it, but like, I just love doing Kyoji's voice. It's so much fun. Woof.
It's so beautiful.
And so clear, too. I can see little fish swimming around. That's good. It's less crowded than we thought it would be. It's a pretty inconvenient drive, to be fair. I guess it's a well-kept secret for those in the know, huh? No, don't roll my husband. I'll pick him up and carry him bridal style. There's a lot of stores here, too. It's quiet here. Did you remember to pack your honey? Keep talking. Did I hurt your feet? I got sand in my mouth. At least it wasn't solid ground. Alright, we should go change. I wonder what everybody's doing. Here's a soft chuckle coming from beside me. As I turn my attention to the familiar sound, its owner just smiles. So, are you swimming too, Kyouji? Of course, we've been waiting a long time to come here. It would be a waste not jump in. Right, Taro? The lion nods in excitement. Yep, this is the first time I've been to the beach with Mr. Takahara. I want to enjoy every second of it. You're not going to get too hyperactive on me, are you? Of course not, I promise. Taro gets a little embarrassed and scratches his nose. Well, we don't have all day. I can feel the ocean calling to me. I hope they don't see through my false bravado. To be honest, I'm still a bit timid in the water. Okay, let's go ahead and change our clothes. Now, where's the changing room? Taro and I help to look for where we can get change. And after a few moments, I raise my hand to point. Is it that hut over there? Everyone else is walking towards it. Ah, you're right. We should join them. I can't wait, let's go! Taro and I race each other to the changing hut while Kyouji follows behind us. By the time we reach the hut, everyone else is finished, leaving us the only ones still in our street clothes. I'll get changed first, you two wait out here. Glance away nervously, still feeling a bit of shame about my body. Suddenly Kyouji thinks of something and claps his hands together. Why don't all three of us go in together? What? Is he being serious? You want us to change together? The Labrador just glances at me, looking almost amused. 3 people going in separately isn't the most efficient way to do it, you know. If we go in together, we won't be hogging the place to ourselves. I guess. I take a glance at the small changing hut. It looks like it would be a bit crowded with 3 people in it. Mr. Takahara does have a point. I don't see anything wrong with it. Besides, it ain't like we don't already change together in Soccer Club. Okay then. I didn't expect that. Not from Taro, at least. What's wrong, Hiroyuki? Haven't you changed around other guys before? I'm taken aback by his forwardness, and I scratch the back of my head. It's not that. It's just that you suggested it so suddenly, it caught me off guard. Are you sure? Taro shakes his head and gives me an assuring smile. There's nothing to be afraid of, Mr. Nishimura. We all have the same stuff, after all. Ouch! Well, aside from the few slight differences. Ouch! Yeah, you're making this really awkward for me, guys. Sorry, Hiroyuki. I just figured you'd be over this kind of thing by now. Oh, well, let's get inside. We're holding up the line. Suddenly I hear the familiar sound of Tora calling out to us from further up the beach. Hey, you guys are ripping a change. We're having fun without you. Shut up, Tora. After being pressured by Torihiko, the three of us finally enter the changing room together. And this is where we die. The moment we get inside, Kyouji begins to undress. I try hard to control myself, but I can't help it. We're changing with our backs to each other, so they won't notice if I peek a little. Get a nice view. Kyouji has a tight-toned body, while Taro's is more slender and delicate. Soccer training has definitely shaped them well. They have no excess fat at all. Look down on my own stomach to compare. I haven't been getting much exercise lately. Pinch a bit of fat on my belly with both hands. It's getting pretty bad. Okay, I'm ready. You haven't changed yet, Hiroyuki. Oh, you guys are done already? Did you forget something? I shake my head vigorously. No, that's not it. It's my pants. The zipper got stuck. I can't seem to get it to go down. I see. We'll wait for you outside then. I'm never able to tell with Kyoji's eyes, but did he just wink at me? Hang on. I don't have to censor. Let's go, Taro. Okay. They put their clothes in their bags and exit the changing room, leaving me all alone. Feeling a bit awkward, I take my swimming trunks out of my bag and finish changing. And we died. And that is officially part 1 of the story of how we made a baby. I leave the changing room soon after and return to the beach. Looks like everyone's already in the water having a good time. Now, where did those two go? There they are. Try waving at them to get their attention. Run straight down the sandy beach to catch up to them. Hey, wait up! Excellent! I'm glad to see that you finally managed to get your pants off, Hiroyuki. Huh? Oh, yeah! Kyouji gives an amused shake of his head before glancing around the beach. Huh? He turns back to me and gives a small smile. Actually, I'm going to stay behind and keep an eye on everything. Need to make sure everyone stays safe. Taro gives a grin and glances longingly out of the water. Okay, Mr. Takahara, now I'm gonna go swimming. Okay, I'm calm now. Before the line can take off for the water, Kyouji places his hand on his shoulder. Wait! I know you're excited to go swimming, but you should do some warm-up exercises. Taro casts a wary glance in my direction. Raising an eyebrow, I turn back to Kyouji. He's just swimming. Is there really need to warm up for that? It's important to be prepared for anything, Hiroyuki. The ocean can be an unforgiving beast. It is not your friend. It's far more different than a pool or even the river. If you don't prepare, you might be in danger of drowning. I lean back and rest my hands against my head. You might be overreacting a little, cute. No! Juichi suddenly speaks out from behind me, giving me a slight heart attack. Ah! Juichi! He moves in front of me and places his hand on my shoulder. There's a reason for Takahara's caution, Nishimura. I almost lost a friend to the ocean, thanks to a lack of preparation and foresight. Oh, hi, welcome. Oh, impreg is real? Wait. Who's the mother? We're making a baby with Kyouji. Who's the mother? Genuine question! chances are, if we're going based on, like, height or something, it's probably going to be Hiroyuki. Don't worry, Kyouji will be back in 9 months. I widen my eyes and stare at Kyouji. Okay, in all seriousness, the parents of the group is, Kyouji is the father of the group, and Juichi is the mother of the group. That is most likely how it is, because those two are constantly keeping everyone alive. Okay, I'm gonna stop with the impreg jokes. I am going to stop with the impreg jokes. I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry. I am genuinely sorry. For the Mariah Carey thing. I widen my eyes and stare at Kyouji. Really? When was that? Juichi sighs and shakes his head before releasing my shoulder. I was really hoping we didn't have to bring that up again. But if you must know, it was Kenji. I shift my gaze to the side in a sheepish attempt to avoid eye contact. Oh. Sorry, Mr. Mikazuki, I didn't know. From the corners of my eyes, I can see the bear looking at us with a stern expression on his face. There's no such thing as being 100% prepared. However, the simple act of preparation can help you recognize your areas of inexperience. Does that make sense? Taro and I both nod at him in agreement. Yeah. We'll try to be more diligent. We give him an agreeable response, then get out of his focus. That was certainly unexpected. Is it fine if I join in, Takahara? Oh? Of course it is! We begin our warm-up exercises on the beach, with Kyouji in front leading the workout. He acts almost like a coach in the middle of practice. Makes sense, though, considering that he's the captain of the soccer team. Ow. What's wrong, Hiroyuki? I blink as Kuya jogs to a stop in front of me. Just a warm-up, but you look like you're having a hard time keeping up. You're moving your back in weird ways. The husky makes fun of my posture, causing me to curl my tail around myself. Shut up! What are you even doing just standing there anyway? You should join in too. Cringe inwardly at how defensive I'm being, but I can't help myself. Kuya's teasing is just too much. I'm fine. If I get a cramp, I'm sure I'll manage. Well, I'd better get to swimming. Have fun with the exercise, Hiroyuki. He winks at me before running to the water. As he jumps in, I can't help but stare at him in envy. I sigh and return to my workout, stretching the tendons in my foot along with Kyoji's instruction. Is your Sakara, can I go swimming yet? Come on now, Taro, there's no rushing safety. Let a loud groan which makes the Labrador chuckle in response. Fine. I believe this is an appropriate time to conclude our exercise. Oh, thank goodness. I breathe a sigh of relief and drop onto the sand. Kyouji simply just stands and nods his head. Kyouji glances over at him before turning back to face Taro. You go on ahead. I'm going to do some more exercises with Juichi. That is... Labrador gives me a wide grin, his tail flicking behind him in amusement. Oh, you smug asshole. If Hiroyuki isn't too exhausted. My cheeks burn up at Kyoji's teasing. Ha ha! Nice one, Kyouji! As I retort bitterly, the canine kneels down beside me and holds out a hand. Come on, Hiroyuki, let's get you standing up right. I nod, slowly taking his hand. With a grunt, he pulls me to my feet. Hiroyuki is the son that just went off to college. Wait, no. He's the family friend. Hiroyuki is the neighborhood family friend who just came back from college. Yeah, I realized how awful that would have been. I nod, slowly taking his hand. With a grunt, he pulls me to my feet. I'll see you later, Mr. Nishimura. Now that I'm standing, Taro gives me a wave before heading towards the water. I can't help but chuckle as he dives into the water without a care in the world. To be honest, I kind of envy him right now. Kyoji's chuckle breaks me out of my thoughts and I stare back at him. can't help but smile at him. Hang on. Did I miss a line? Kyoji's chuckle breaks me out of my thoughts and I stare back at him. I can't help but smile at him. So, Kyouji, did you bring anything to read for the bus ride here and back? The Labrador shakes his head and glances over at Taro. No, I didn't, but I do know that Taro did. He's been reading this manga. He tried telling me about it, but it just went right over my head. I smile and nod, remembering what the lion told me the other day. As I'm about to say something else, I see Juichi approach. I think it is time for me to go set up the umbrellas. Kyouji turns to face the bear, who points to the side. Small distance away, I can see Shin attempting to find a comfortable location. I know what you're thinking, Takahara. Don't worry about it. I snap my attention back to Juichi and scratch my head in confusion. Don't worry about what? As I turn to Kyouji for answers, he just shrugs. And you know that it's pointless to argue with me, big guy. I have it handled. It's all my stuff anyway. It's only right that I set it up. I think I understand what's going on. Yes, but it wouldn't be right to burden you with all that responsibility. Kyouji interrupts me, answering Juichi with his usual diplomatic tone of voice. The bear rolls his eyes but says nothing. Hey! Two pairs of eyes rest on me after my outburst. Do my best to ignore the awkward feeling. I'll help too! Kyouji and Juichi widen their eyes as I declare my willingness to help. I give the two of them a wide grin. It's better than watching the two of you squabble. Juichi glances to the side, his cheeks a light shade of red. Kyouji, on the other hand, I suppose you're right, Hiroyuki. Come on then, let's get started. Kyouji and I follow Juichi back to his oversized bag. The bear reaches in and grabs out several large umbrellas before passing one to me. Over there would be a good place to set up for Kuroi. He points over towards a nearby area on the sand before passing me a blanket. I smile back at him, hiding the fact that I'm having a few difficulties in balancing the umbrella. Sure thing, Juichi. Turning away, I walk towards where the bear pointed. As I approach, I notice Shin is attempting to find a comfortable location. Suddenly he notices me and the equipment I'm carrying. Oh, are you setting up here? Sorry, I'll move. The black cat brushes some sand from his fur and stands up. Before he can move away, I stand in front of him. Actually, Shin, I'm setting this up for you. Surprised expression appears on the feline's face. For me? Yeah, Juichi thought this would be a good place for you to relax. The blanket is for you to lay on, so you don't get sand through your fur. After a moment of silence, a smile makes its way to Shin's face. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he was about to cry happy tears. Thanks, Hiroyuki! Let Juichi know I appreciate it, too. I simply give a nod in response before getting to work placing down the umbrella. Despite my awkwardness, I somehow managed to get the umbrella and blanket set up without much trouble. There we go! After I lay down the blanket, I give Shin another nod, watching as he crawls underneath the umbrella. He gives a satisfied sigh and reaches into his bag, pulling out a book. As he opens the book, he glances up at me, his expression neutral. Don't mind me, I'm quite happy just reading. I stare at him for a moment before smiling and swishing my tail to the side. Okay, Shin, now I'll be with Kyouji if you need anything. The cat waves a hand dismissively and goes right into reading his book. I give a soft chuckle and turn away before turning to Kyouji and Juichi. As I make my return, I can see that they have already set up most of the umbrellas. Only one remains. With a shrug, I walk over to it and pick it up. Hey, where should I put this one? Kyouji approaches me while giving his usual smile. Wherever you think is a good place, Hiroyuki. I give a wide grin and begin walking towards where I think is the perfect location for us. As I approach my destination, I let my grin widen. Here ought to do. As I prepare the umbrella, Kyouji takes a deep breath and glances around. He turns to face me just as I open the umbrella and chuckles as I almost fall over from the force. This is a great spot, Hiroyuki. We can see most of the beach from here. As the canine compliments me on my good judgment, I can't help but smile sheepishly. I watch as the Labrador gives his own small smile before turning his attention towards the water. Even though I'm not really doing anything, it's nice to be able to spend time with Kyouji. I give a yawn as I watch Kuya and Juichi playing volleyball. Kuya is actually quite good at it, although Juichi... I blink as Kyouji turns his attention away from the beach and fixes his gaze on me. Oh, it's just... Kuya never really seemed like the sporty type before, but now... The Labrador raises an eyebrow at me as if to ask why I think that's so odd. Just because he's a full-time musician doesn't mean he doesn't have time for sports. I nod in agreement and flick my tail behind me. True, you do have a point. We watch as Juichi awkwardly dives for the volleyball, striking it in a clumsy arc over the tiny trench in the sand. Kuya rears back and spikes the ball back down toward the sand with his palm. The husky cheers as the ball hits the sand while Juichi stands up and brushes sand from his fur. Ugh. I'd rather not even try stuff like that. Don't think I'd have the coordination for it. Kyouji turns to face me again, his expression seemingly showing concern. You don't always want to just watch, though, do you? My attention shifts towards the water, and as if on some psychic cue, spot a yellow and black swirl of stripes erupt from the waves. Too far back to hear what Torihiko was saying, but I can't help chuckling. From somewhere behind him, Taro sputters as he comes up for air and wipes strands of his mane from his eyes. The two of them seem to argue about something before turning to face Tatsuki. The dragon is floating on his back in the water, like some kind of massive green boy. Well, I don't realize I'm smiling until I see it reflected by Kyoji's own. I think there's enough excitement for me to indulge in from the sidelines. Labrador shakes his head and motions down towards the shallows. Are you sure you don't want to go join someone? Konosuke's just over there. Turn to face where Kyouji is pointing to, and notice the Tanuki flat on his stomach in the shallow water. The tide washes over him, while nearby, Shun seems completely absorbed in a sandcastle he's been working on. As for Shin, he's still reading. My whiskers twitch and I turn back to look at my canine friend. Well, why don't you want to relax? I've seen you eyeing the umbrella and blanket for the last hour or so. As Kyouji scratches the top of his head, he looks back at me warily. To be honest, I can't blame him. A nap under the shade, the gentle sounds of the waves, the crisp, clean air. Why is he so concerned about playing the lifeguard? He purses his lips, but never quite loses the infant shape of a smile at the corners. Looking out at the water again, he watches Taro's swimming form for a few seconds before giving a soft sigh. You know, one of these days I might get a call late at night or something. He pauses and arches his shoulders forward, slightly flexing his forearms in a mimicry of a much larger male. Hey, Kyouji! I think I drank too much sake, but since I'm a responsible adult, I've chosen to not drive home. Can you come pick me up? The deepened voice leaves no doubt in my mind which one of the guys he's talking about. While I can't help but chuckle softly at the imitation, something does register in my mind and I glance away. I'm gonna be there for them if that happens. The canine splays his hands out across our vision of the ocean, each finger ending in an elegant curl across a background of dancing blue waves. The ocean is a bit more of a risk than a bottle of sake at the moment, of course, but I think you get the picture. I face Kyouji once again and nod, watching as he drops his hands beside him. A gentle breeze suddenly caresses us, snaking pleasant chills underneath my short fur. That's just me, though. What about you, Hiroyuki? I'm caught off guard by his question, and I take a few moments to think. I've shadowed Kyouji the entire time I've been here, which is all the more odd since Tor and Konosuke are here. As kids, you'd never seen us apart, especially if it were on a day out, but now? I can't help but be drawn to the man beside me, just enjoying the breeze and keeping a watchful eye on friends I feared had completely forgotten me only a few weeks ago. Well, maybe one day. You'll need someone to give you a ride, too. An amused chuckle is my response as he glances at me from the corner of his eye. You can't always be the superhero, Kyouji. Go have that nap that I know you want, and I'll watch the guys for now, okay? Kyouji casts his eyes back to the horizon, but smiles deeply nonetheless. Can't really tell by his eyes, but I'm pretty sure he just winked at me. I'll pass on that for right now, but... He pauses once again, trying to think of the right thing to say. Thanks, Hiroyuki. It really means a lot. There's a slight hush in his voice, and had there been any loud noise, I might have missed it completely. I give him a warm smile and turn my attention back to the view ahead of us. Well, I guess there's just going to be 2 lifeguards on duty today. Time passes by without incident, and before I know it, it's a little past noon. Kyouji and I are down at the shoreline, our feet cooling in the water. I give a soft sigh, leaning back and resting my head on my arms. Takahara. I jolt, turning to see that Juichi has joined us. Unfazed, Kyouji turns to face the bear and smiles. Juichi! What can I do for you? Juichi nods at me before turning his attention back to Kyouji. Do you want to go for a jog? Kyouji rubs a hand behind his neck and stares at the larger male. A jog hardly seems like something fun to do at the... Oh.
It's time to
Suddenly
drink
the canine
water.
smiles and claps his hands together, seeming to
It's
pick up
time
on
to
something
drink
that I'm
water.
missing. I can't
It's
believe I
time to
didn't
drink
remember
water.
that. Hey, Hiroyuki.
It's time
Kyouji
to
turns to
drink
face me
water.
and places a hand on my shoulder. How would you like to join us for a workout you can only experience here? Is he serious? A workout? As the Labrador continues to smile at me, I can't help but feel the pressure. With a sigh, I nod. Sure, why not? Suddenly, Kyouji slaps me on the back and chuckles. That's a spirit. Hey, you too! Blink in surprise as the canine suddenly calls out to Konosuke and Shun, both of whom are nearby.
What are you guys doing?
As Shun approaches, Konosuke's eyes widen. Wait, are you guys about to go to the ice cream stall? The Tanuki bounces up from his spot in the shallows, moving faster than I've ever seen him move. My husband, I will buy you all the ice cream you want. Shun continues to walk in a steady pace, kicking water up a little with each step. Ooh, give me a second. I have some money in my bag.
I'll come too. I wanted soda anyway.
Suddenly, Kyouji massages the bridge of his nose and shakes his head. The bear breathes a heavy sigh of exasperation. That's not exactly the plan. I called you guys here for a race. Kyouji seems to strike a pose like a sea captain standing at the bow of his ship, one finger pointed at the promise of dry land. Too bad this particular captain is pointing at the water.
You want to swim?
Kyouji gives one of his rare smiles and crosses his arms. We're going to run in it to build up strength in our legs. The happy expression fades from their faces almost instantly. Konosuke looks as if he's just smelled something exceedingly foul, but Kyouji simply ignores it. As you know, soccer and martial arts both require great endurance in the legs. Shun looks over to me as if for guidance, but all I can do is shrug. Are you kidding me? We're supposed to be relaxing here, Mr. Overachiever. You could probably use the exercise the most, Kuri. Don't you insult my husband. A shocked expression shows on the Tanuki's face as Kyouji scolds him. I have to admit, that might have been a little too far, but Kyouji does have a point. I glance down on my own pudgy belly and grimace. Taking a breath, I stare up at my friends and hold my hands out in front of me. Hey guys, come on! This will probably be fun. Kyouji claps his hands together once again and gives his usual smile. That's the spirit. Now everybody line up in the water according to height. As we wade out into the cold water, I hear Konosuke grumble under his breath, but he does as he's told. Get into my position, ensuring the water level is just below my knees. Alright guys, take note of where Shin is. We all squint at Shin in the distance. The cat is spread out on his stomach underneath his beach umbrella. Looks like he's still reading his book and is oblivious to the sounds of our splashing about. We sprint till we cross in front of him. Labrador smiles at Kyouji and nods. Care to do the honors? On your mark. Is it too late to go to the bathroom? Get set.
I just wanted a soda.
Go! What the fuck? Unsurprisingly, Kyouji rockets out in front of us. His legs seem to cut through the water more cleanly, and his breathing seems steady and even. I'm neck and neck with Kyouji. I don't know whether to be proud of myself for keeping up with an actual athlete or to be disappointed in myself. After all, I'm having trouble outrunning a guy who is easily 50 kilograms heavier than me, and is in high-knee water. I grimace at the noises I hear Konosuke making.
Don't get sick of the water, I have to run in that.
I chance a look over in Shin's direction. As expected, he's completely absorbed in his book. Just a little more. I shift my attention back to Kyouji, who's just a little bit ahead of me. I almost got you. I gasp in surprise as Kyouji pushes further ahead, and again as Kyouji manages to overtake me. Screw this! Glance back over my shoulder, I can see an exhausted Tanuki melodramatically drop down into the water, sending a spray of water up.
I was already thirsty. You just splashed salt water into my mouth, Konosuke.
From nearby, Shin gives an exasperated sigh and stares out at us. I swear, if you guys get my blanket wet. I grin sheepishly at Shin and wave an apology. I finished our little race in third place. Although, to be fair, Shun and Konosuke didn't finish. After a little bit longer in the water, Kyouji decides to leave the water in order to relax. I bid farewell to the others and follow him back to where I set up the umbrella for us. I squirm yet again as I try to find a comfortable position. Ugh, I'm gonna be cramped up like crazy in the morning. From beside me, Kyouji chuckles and shakes his head. You'll sleep better tonight, though. I guarantee it. Turning to face the Labrador, I force a smile to my face. Maybe, but will you have a good night's sleep? My question gets the reaction I was expecting from him. He stares at me cautiously as if attempting to think of how to respond. Suddenly he laughs and collapses down onto his blanket, the umbrella casting its cool shade over the both of us. I suppose if I think about it hard enough. Maybe you should see a doctor about that, Kyouji. Kyouji doesn't respond, instead folding his hands behind his head, his legs crossing in a way that resembles one position on a recliner. Kyouji. The dog pats the other side of the blanket softly, signaling for me to sit down beside him. With a sigh, I surrender to his request and crawl beside him. Don't worry so much, Hiroyuki. I plan on having a nap on the bus. Accepting my defeat, I lean back on my elbows and watch the others play. Hey Siri, where can I find a comically large pan? Where can I find a comically large pan?
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Jesus. A comically large pan?
I'm sorry, I don't understand that.
Oh, no, no, no. No, no. It's to hit Kyouji over the head with so he actually gets some fucking sleep. And then we'll cook comically large bacon. Yes, Kyouji. We're gonna take the comically large pan, and then we're going to hit it against Kyoji's head so he actually gets some sleep, and then we are going to go to the kitchen and cook some comically large bacon. Bonk that sleepless bitch. Thought it was a baseball bat? No, because if we hit him too hard, then he'll go into forever sleep. And then we'll give him a comically large breakfast. Exactly. My tail twitches as the warm breeze snakes its way under the umbrella, tickling all my fur in the right places. I can feel the slight heat coming from Kyoji's body as I lay beside him, causing me to give a soft yawn. You know, I snap my eyes open and turn to face the canine. If you notice, he doesn't make it clear, instead continuing to speak. You kept up with Juichi and I pretty well, and you did an amazing job at your first soccer lesson. Were you trying to recruit me or something? I grin as I interrupt him, playfully teasing him. Kyouji purses his lips for a moment, as if in serious contemplation about my question. That's not a bad idea, actually. I widen my eyes as he turns to face me, his trademark smile back on his face. His smile looks almost genuine. You're certainly more athletic than you give yourself credit for. After all, you did come third in our race. I recognize the teasing tone in his voice and face away from him in embarrassment. Last place, you mean? The two of us turn our heads suddenly as we hear footsteps in the sand, and we come to face with Shin. Pardon me, but can I take the back inside of your umbrella? I have two morons yelling at each other under mine. Kyouji nods and motions for the black cat to join us. Not a problem. As he cuts himself off mid-sentence, the canine suddenly rubs back of his head, an exasperated expression on his face. You meant Konosuke and Shun, right? Shin's expression also changes, and he looks almost amused. I admit, that description matches quite a few people in our little group. The cat settles himself cross-legged on the back side of the blanket, his thumb holding his place in his novel. From this close, I can see the cover, but the title seems to be in French. What do you have there, Shin? Shin stares over at me before smiling and holding out his book. It was just a collection of short stories. Romance, bits of people's lives, that sort of thing. Minutes pass on in silence as I watch the waves crash into each other and fold. There's a kind of hypnotic quality to it all. The soothing hiss of the ocean spray, the crowing of the occasional gull, and the soft snores next to me. Hear me out! Hear me out! Random thought, that looks climbable. Like, that in the distance looks climbable. That looks very climbable. The last sound barely registers for me. It seems like Kyouji dozed off the second he closed his eyes. Probably right after Shin sat down. Depends on how steep. Like, we just climb it. I know, that's the fun of it. We either get to the top or we fall and our spine fucking shatters. It's like playing gambling without the money. Yeah, fuck gravity. We have, actually, we don't have admin controls. We don't have admin controls, so we can't turn off gravity. Damn. Just walk up the wall. Exactly. And Konosuke is a widow. No! No! I'm going to turn off gravity and walk up that and then walk back down and then love my husband. Should we wake him up? I heard that he was going to be doing lifeguard duty or something to that effect. Glance down at the canine, the slow rise and fall of his chest just as soothing as the waves stretching out onto the horizon. With a smile, I shake my head and turn to face the black cat. Nah, I got this. Everyone needs to sleep sometime, and everyone needs someone else to look out for them. This summer, at least, perhaps I can be that person for Kyouji. An idea suddenly comes to mind, and I turn to face my feline friend. Hey, Shin. The cat doesn't even look up from his book, but his tone invites me to continue. Do you think you could read to us? This time, Shin does look up and glances at me in surprise. Whatever for. Take a second to admire the ocean once more, to really soak it in before I have to return to Osaka, where there's nobody to go to the beach with. Where nobody sleeps next to me. It seems fitting, I suppose. Shin smiles at me and gives an enigmatic nod, but while I turn my attention back to my sleeping friend. The cat clears his throat as I settle down beside Kyouji. There on the port, long ago when the wood wasn't chipped and rotted, a young man climbed down from an ocean liner emblazoned with an American flag. I barely make out the words spoken by Shin as I watch Kyouji sleep. That young man held her for many years from that point, in the dark of the movie houses on cool autumn nights in September, and in front of a priest where they became one. I know I'll have to wake him soon, but for now, just for right now, the world seems a little too peaceful not to let him rest. Oh, I'm tired. I glance around the bus, only to notice that almost everyone is asleep. It's been a long time since we last went out like this. Sachiko. I turn back in my seat to stare at Tatsuki, a smile coming to my face when I see him sleeping. Sachiko, is the dashi for father's mail done? There's dust collecting on the windowsill. Are you cleaning well enough? Like you said, people are truly... Shaking my head in amusement, I sit back down in my seat. Seriously, who the hell is Sachiko? A soft tapping noise suddenly catches my attention, and I look around in an attempt to find it. Sure enough, it's Shun tapping away on his portable game console. Of course he'd bring that. I'm unable to fight back a yawn as I stretch my limbs. Maybe I should take a nap too? As if reading my mind, I see Shun turn around in his seat. He stares at me and nods his head. With a smile, he turns back around and settles in his seat, and after a moment, he's back to tapping at his game. Outside the window, everything is dyed red by the setting sun. The sea, the mountains, the sky. It almost feels like I'm in a different world. Lean my head against the window and join my friends. And we're gonna leave off here tonight. Oh, right, I can't right-click. I have to manually create saves. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.